What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a freelance artist journey. So, I guess I'll start off by talking about finding work. Now I've been freelancing for a number of years, and I could tell you that for me, work came from a few different ways, either word of mouth or through classified ads of some sort, referrals, which I guess would be considered word of mouth. Word of mouth. Yeah, those are really the only two ways that I came across jobs, or that jobs came to me. I guess one could say advertisement, but when you're a freelance artist, you can't really afford to advertise. With the internet now, things are kind of really opened up, but still it goes back to the basic two that I can think of, which is word of mouth and classified ads. Because if you think about it, if you're going on to Craigslist online, that's a classified ad. If you're finding work on Reddit, which I use quite a bit, that could technically still be a classified ad. And even nowadays, people are on Discord, and you can go on there and you can find people asking for work or looking to get commission work done. It's kind of a spin-off of a classified ad, basically. But these are the ways that I find work now. Um, and as my phone goes off, that's probably an email alert about a job that's come up, which that's something that I can share with you guys a little bit later. But I'm on the internet quite a bit looking for jobs, and you could literally spend all day going through classified ads, reading through postings on Reddit. Reddit has dozens upon dozens of subreddits that people use to look for artists, because they want, their Dungeons and Dragons characters illustrated. There are people looking for, of course, your basic t-shirt designs. Bands are looking for album cover art. There's a myriad of different things. There's a lot of requests for game design, level design, character design for games, video games, and apps and that type of thing. So there is work out there to be found, but you just have to know how to dig and find it. Now, you could also post on sites like Upwork and Fiverr, but I choose not to. For one reason, Fiverr, starting off at $5, there's not really anything as an artist that you can do for just $5. I suppose you could do some very quick icon or profile pic designs, where maybe you take a person's a portrait or a picture of their face, and you kind of turn it into a graphical image for them to use as an avatar of some sort. You could do that, and maybe just charge $5 for it. Personally, I wouldn't. I'm not going to get out of bed for just a $5 job. I just feel like my skills and the time that I've spent developing and honing them is worth far more than $5. But you can use Fiverr to kind of get your foot in the door, so to speak, with a potential client. Like, you could offer, say, $5 for, like I said, an avatar design, and then upsell them from there. So there are a lot of artists who are using Fiverr as kind of a avenue to get themselves in the door with a potential client. So from that perspective, Fiverr is not that bad of an idea. It's great for the consumer because they're getting a deal, but for us artists, it's kind of selling yourself short. And I look at Upwork in a similar fashion because with Upwork, all the power is in the hands of the consumer, the person that's looking to get art done, because they post, their product, their project, or whatever that they need art for. And they've got a pool of artists that will kind of bid on that job. And so when you get that type of a supply and demand situation, then who's going to come out on with the short end of the stick? Usually the artist, because you've got all these artists. Hey, I'll do it for $50. I'll do it for $35. And then you've got somebody overseas that, hey, they'll do it. The cost of living, in the Philippines or wherever might be such that they can do the job for $15, and you just can't compete with that. Now, I'm not hating on them. If they can get the job done and they can feed their family off $5, then, so be it. That's the way the market is right now. And it's just something that we have to deal with. So, I'm not going to sit here and complain about that situation, but it's something to consider, for us freelancers, that we are competing on a global scale now, not just with artists that are in our city or town, but on the other side of the globe, people that can do work cheaper than we can. So, these are a lot of things to think about. But anyway, so, that's my opinion on Fiverr and Upwork and similar sites. Maybe 99 Designs is another one that comes to mind, where a lot of artists are bidding and they're kind of undercutting each other to get the job. And, it hurts our craft. It hurts us being able to make a living doing what we do. But if you're smart and if you, are savvy enough, then you can still find work. And, and that's what I've been doing. So I use sites like Reddit, as I said before, Craigslist. You can find work on most of the social media sites, Facebook, Twitter. I've done a couple of jobs from Facebook through kind of family and friends situations. Twitter, not so much. I've had a few opportunities come my way, and I kind of applied for those opportunities and were seriously considered. But at the end of the day, I think the companies or individuals went in a different direction. So the potential is there. I just haven't gleaned from it yet with Twitter. But it's there. And from what I understand, a lot of artists are getting work from Instagram. And I have an Instagram account trying to build my presence there, but I haven't actually got any work as of yet. But you never know. And what I do is I just get on those sites and I search through, I crawl through those listings until I find someone that's looking for an artist, that's looking for an illustrator, someone that's doing a children's book and they need art for the children's book. That's what I'm looking for. And you could spend, like I said, you could spend all day, which, nobody has all day to do that. But if you're looking for work and if this is your primary source of income, then you got to do what you got to do. And so, there are ways to streamline that process. one thing that I do, and I mentioned this in a previous video, is I used to do online dating. And this was when like eHarmony had just come out, Match.com. So these were the early days of online dating. Back then when I was doing it, it was kind of looked upon as for desperate people or introverts only, which, I couldn't say that I was desperate, but I am a bit of an introvert. So, and being someone that was online working and, doing that kind of thing, it just kind of lended itself for me that I would try it out. Yeah, the time spent going through profiles, it was an all day event almost, just going through. And so you wanted to streamline the process as much as possible. So I would set up a number of different replies, copy paste, because at the end of the day, anything that you can do, that you're going to do repetitiously anyway, you might as well create a template for it. And so I did that. And then if you felt a connection of any kind, then you might ask for their phone number. And once you talk on the phone and you saw that you really had something going there, that there was potential there, then you ask for a date. And so, that same approach, I found that it was the same thing looking for potential clients. You wait for someone to raise their hand and say, hey, I need an artist over here. And so that's kind of like the key point, is finding people that want what you have to offer, as opposed to you casting a wide net out there, or a banner or whatever it might be, saying, hey, I do art. It's a whole lot easier to sell water to a thirsty man, as opposed to telling people that you have water for sale and trying to convince them to buy from you. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next broadcast. Bye for now. Thanks again for tuning in. Please do me a favor and hit that little subscribe button and that little bell so you can be notified when the next video drops.